What's good out there? Hey, listen, I'm going to be talking about a whole bunch of things referencing to my CP3 reaction with the Warriors. If you didn't see the video, don't stress, I got you. All right, I got you. Don't panic. Just breathe for a minute and check out the description. Don't say I don't look after you. What is good, everybody out there? Thanks again for checking in with Court Thoughts, the channel where we basically talk basketball. I've done a reaction before and video on CP3, and I had a lot of fun doing it. But with the move that sent this man to the Warriors, it had me thinking to myself, how deadly is this team going to be? I wanted to do a reaction specifically on CP3 and what the fit would look like with him now at the Warriors. I did reference the trade a lot in my Bradley Beal video, as well as the other video I did that, came around this Bermuda Triangle of trade with Jordan Poole, where I talk about my thoughts and opinions about the trade. And look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I do think the best trade was to get Chris Paul over to the Warriors, but you're gonna have to stick around to the end of the video to understand exactly why. The first thing that I want to talk about, though, in today's detailed analysis, listen, this is a critical one. Survey the floor. What makes a point guard so good? Actually, let me start that again. What makes a good point guard so good? The ability to survey the floor. When we think about the modern day game of basketball and we think about the ability to survey the floor, we can look at it from a number of perspectives. We can think about it from a defensive perspective with guys like Drew Holiday in understanding space and understanding where you need to be to disrupt the ability to score. We can also think about other players like Nikola Jokic. Perfect example is my championship level video where I spoke about how to get the ball into really dangerous spots. Or even when we think about a mixture of both offensive and defensive with guys like Paul George. In my detailed analysis, I spoke about how this man had an all-around game and understanding the ability to play, but surveying the floor allows you to do a number of different things. When we take a moment to look at the floor and understand exactly where everyone is on the floor, we can really start to play around with space and be dangerous. I mentioned in my Damian Lillard detailed analysis that being able to get into dangerous spots allows you to be a threat because we really want to make the defense have to worry about you and really get concerned and make some decisions because it ultimately creates better opportunities for you. With guys like CP3, he's not a strong scorer. It doesn't necessarily mean that he can't score. He absolutely can score. Don't get it twisted. But this man is looking to try and create scoring opportunities with others and really just trying to get to the best spot for the team to score. One of the ways that he does this is by understanding how players are going to react to the position that they're in. And we can use the dribble slice as a perfect example of that. He really perfected that slice dribble, and look, he's not the first person to do it. Other people have done it before him, but it's where you slice at the ball and the ball sort of yo-yos back over to your hand. And he was doing this because he would come off of screens and defenders would normally be in a drop coverage position where they're dropping closer towards the bucket and the screener would roll down that he could go like this. He's already understanding that the defender is in a vulnerable position. Do you want to worry about the ball or do you want to worry about the man? Surveying the floor allows you to play really dangerously with that spacing and really dangerously with what the defense is thinking. Again, overwhelming the defense in being concerned about what's happening. Surveying the floor is really simple because it doesn't actually take a lot of skill to do. Just think about it for a sec. All you have to do is look up. If you take a moment and get into the court and get yourself into really good positioning where you can really stop, look at the court and understand where everyone is, and then think about the best way to attack it, basketball really does become simple. It's really a pattern game if you think about it. And Chris Paul has mastered the game and allowed himself to take advantage of it. One of the strongest points that I wanted to talk about was surveying the floor because it literally leads into so many various aspects of his game, whether it's his ability to score, whether it's his ability to steal the ball, whether it's his ability to be an assist machine. But it all comes down to surveying the floor. You don't survey the floor, you can't have anywhere near as much effectiveness as this man CP3. Going off the back of that, the next point that I want to talk about is patience. And a perfect example of this is we could see Chris Paul was in the bottom corner and he had the ball in the post and he was not concerned with scoring the ball. Why? Because he was concerned with trying to get my man Steph Curry the ball. The ability to just be patient and understand what's in front of you is not normally there because players don't take the time to just stop and relax and be patient and not take the first opportunity that's there. When we look at the floor and we're understanding the floor and we understand our team really well, especially as a point guard, as a former point guard myself, I'm always looking to try and get the best player the best scoring opportunity. Whether that's me, myself, or whether that's another player on the court, I want to get the best player, the best scoring opportunity. And let's think about it like this for a second. I've got 24 seconds on the clock. If I have the ball and I bring the ball up, get over the half court line, and take 1 second to sort of stop and observe what's happening over the court, I'm generally going to have spent about 8 seconds doing that. That gives me a tremendous amount of time to be able to go and create the best scoring opportunity because I'm not rushing into the first thing available. By doing this, we can play at my pace and I'm not playing at your pace. But also as a point guard, that allows me to go through and recognize, okay, who's on the court, what's the defensive matchups, and what can I create the best scoring opportunity for? If we look at some of the opportunities where he was dribbling the ball down, he's never really looking like he's in a rush, and it's because he's patient. He recognizes, I can play at my own pace. One of the examples that we could see of this is recognizing mismatches. Chris Paul's an effective, literally, the definition of effective handler of the ball because he gets anywhere that he wants. He can literally go to whatever spot on the court that he wants and doesn't seem threatened. I've never really seen him get absolutely abused from defenders in picking the ball off of him. And it's because he's very aware of where he has the ball and what he can do with the ball. When he has the ball and a big man comes out to him, he simplifies the game. Okay, can I beat you? Yeah, great. Or, okay, big man's out on me. What does that mean? Little man's on a big man. So what do I want to do? I want to get the ball to the big man who's being defended by the little man. I've got a mismatch. I create the game to be a very simple and effective way of playing. A little thing that you can do to try and help you with your patience is time. You have to spend a lot of time on the court, and it comes down to being calm and collected and recognizing patterns. One little thing that I liked to do when I was young is get over the halfway line and stop and look for where the big man was. The reason for this was because the big man on my team in my younger years was generally the person who had to touch the ball. And by doing that, it just allowed me to take notice of where everyone is and then start to slowly add more players to that. You want to see where you have your teammates on the floor and understand what they bring to the team, and then just look to get the ball into the best player's hands. And you don't want to overwhelm yourself by rushing. Be patient. The last thing that I want to talk about is control. And I know that control is a really ambiguous phrase, and it's because he has control in an ambiguous manner. He has the ability to manipulate the ball to provide rotation, spin, and control on it in a number of different ways. Whether he's controlling the ball with dribbling the ball, he can get his hand to wherever he needs to on the ball to manipulate it, to put the ball wherever he wants it to. He's also able to manipulate the ball in passing situations, whether he's doing that drop pass or whether he's doing spin, inside post feeds to get to its specific spot that it needs to with little ease or danger from the defense, but also has control on defense. And this is a real true testament of hoop IQ. Having control over the ball and having control over the pace of play is about poise. And I spoke a lot about patience and poise before, so I'm not going to harp on that. Having control over the ball allows you to have more opportunity. I really do believe in my heart that basketball is all about maximizing the most opportunities that you're presented with, creating more opportunities, and by minimizing the opportunities of the offensive team or of your opponents, right? If I know that I have mismatches on me, I'm going to control the situation and either A, I take advantage of it, or B, get it to the other player who's in a better mismatch situation to take advantage of it. Simple control, controlling the game. Controlling the pace. If the team's trying to rush me, I'm going to take my time. I'm not going to play at their pace because maybe my team doesn't succeed at that. Maybe I want to jar their offensive rhythm by slowing them down. Or again, the opposite. Maybe they're going really, really slow. I want to defensively rush them and I want to take control of the game. Having the ability to manipulate the ball allows him to create opportunities not just for himself, but also for others. Some of the simple things that come to mind is thumb and pinky. If you think about it, right? When you have the ball in your hands, having the ability to rotate the ball and provide spin and control, a lot of it comes down to these two fingers. And if you think about Kyrie Irving's inside hand finish or that sort of wall crawler finish, it happens from being able to rotate your pinky around to where the ball has that ability to spin. We can also apply it on the opposite end by spinning it around the opposite side and create that counter movement. And again, that's thumb rotation. We can also use this when we're controlling and dribbling the ball, but we can also use it when we're passing the ball. But that's not where all the control comes from. It also comes from having the hoop IQ. If you can combine your physical skill and understand how you manipulate the ball, but you've done the homework before that and understand what you need to do to take advantage of your position on the court by what the defense is anticipating, you can really start to compete at a different level. When you see guys that are displaying this high level of hoop IQ, a lot of it really comes down to controlling their emotions, controlling the defense in what they're doing to try and minimize their effect on the game, and also controlling the way that the game is being played. This is one of the reasons why I absolutely love CP3, because he's the definition of control. Just understand, skills are a key impact in being able to play, and having control over the ball is a perfect example of that. But your mind is the hand that controls the key. Understand how to play the game and put it into practice with your skills, and you're going to be untouchable. I did mention at the very beginning that I was going to be doing a bit of a breakdown about why I thought the Warriors got the better of the deal. And look, let's just think about the 3 points that I mentioned. Surveying the floor, patience, and control. This is what Chris Paul brings to a team. When we think about the Warriors, it's not that they didn't have those, they did, but a lot of that weight had to be carried by Steph Curry. And now what we can do is we can create more scoring opportunities for other players. I can now be more of a threat myself by scoring when I need to, which is a bonus, but it's also creating more touches and more control to other key scoring opportunities on the floor with guys like Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, two of the greatest shooters in the history of the game of basketball. Why they never thought to pair a God status point guard with him, it just blew my mind. Probably because Steph Curry is a God status point guard as well. But that was a really big reason why I thought that he was an absolute machine of a signing, because now you add this extra level of IQ that allows the team to function at a different level and really can start to manipulate and break down defenses. The Warriors reinvented a lot of the way that the game was being played by extending the floor out and playing at a much, much faster pace. But now they can really start to play around with that pace. They can push the ball when they need to. They can slow the ball down when they need to. But they can get the ball into the hands of players that they need without having to break down one of the greatest shooters of all time, Steph Curry, and have to worry about doing 1,000,001 moves just to deal with some defenders. But look, I know that that's a lot of things that I've covered off in today's video, and some of those things you may not necessarily agree with. If you don't, that's okay. Do me a favor. Let me know in the comments. Tell me why you disagree with me, and I'm happy to have a back and forth. In fact, if you jump in the comments and you leave me a comment, your boy's gonna get back at you. I promise. It's also a great way to get the algorithm to help your boy out, as well as doing one of the most important things, liking and subscribing. Listen.
Wow, this is incredible. I can't believe that we're here right now.
Just shut up for like a minute. Shut up.
I'm currently trying to push to hit my 10K milestone. I need you to do your part. You gotta do your part by liking and subscribing. If you haven't already, brother, making mistakes with your life. I would absolutely love your support in that. And listen, if you've enjoyed today's content, you're absolutely going to love my Facebook page, because I'm sharing content on there as well that's not always relevant to what I'm doing on here. Sometimes it's a lot of the background things. Listen, I'm having a lot of fun doing this YouTube business, and I hope you guys are enjoying the videos that I'm putting out. That's really what I'm all about. I want to spread love and awareness about the game of basketball. I've got a bunch of things that are happening in the works. So listen, make sure you stay tuned, And until I see you next time, make sure you're looking after yourself, you take care, and be safe. All right. Peace.